I had always been afraid of clowns. So when my friend invited me to the circus, I was hesitant, but ultimately convinced to go. I figured, how bad could it be? There were other things going on there, right? I could just spend my time in the big top watching the acrobats. Or maybe I would just linger out near the food carts. Bottom line, I didn't want to tell Erica no. She was the queen when it came to being able to use those puppy eyes for evil. And I was a helpless victim beneath that blue gaze. We met up outside the circus. The parking lot has jammed with other cars. Even from there, I could see the red and yellow canvas of the big top looming above the hastily erected fence. Erica gave me a hug. I'm glad that you decided to come out. It would have been an absolutely miserable trip on my own. You could have asked Tammy to come with you, I pointed out. Erica made a face. I don't want to go to the circus with Tammy. Thanks, but hard pass. She slung an arm around my shoulders. It doesn't matter because you're here anyway. Being brave, facing your fears, all that jazz. I'm proud of you. You're paying for my ticket, I told her. I know, Erica responded. And my drinks. Right, she gave a nod. Firmly, I tacked on. And as many rounds on the ball toss game as I want. Erica's steps faltered. She weighed the odds. Then she gave a heavy, put-upon sigh. All right. I'll cover whatever you want. Just don't back out on me now. We're so close. She tangled her fingers around my wrist and pulled me up to the ticket booth. No clown. The man inside was wearing a bright purple vest and so much jewelry it seemed to make him glow in the lights that had been strung up. 20 apiece, he said bluntly. Erica paid. The backs of our hands were stamped. We stepped inside. No clowns. The crowd outside in the main grounds of the circus were massive. There were carts selling cotton candy, blow-up figures, and other such fare. A few stands with games had been set up, but the lines were insane. Erica saw me eyeing one of the ball toss stands. She tugged on my hand. Let's hit up the big top first, and then we can do the games. That's going to give them time for everything to be cleared out, you know? Fine, I said, but I wasn't happy about it. But you have to promise me that we're going to get something to eat as soon as we're done. Deal! Erica gave me a winning grin and led the way to the big top. There was someone lounging in a chair outside with stilt legs. No makeup. The sight made the hair on the back of my neck stand on end. I tried to convince myself that there was a difference between a clown and a stilt walker, but it didn't matter. The moment that we stepped into the big top, I was assaulted by my worst fear. Clowns. They were everywhere. There was a fat one in a yellow onesie with a painted smile on his face. A woman who was too tall and whose arms seemed too long, with bright red triangles taking up most of her cheeks, and a wig of purple curls on her head. That clown was pushing a cart filled with the long tube balloons that were used to make balloon animals. Another one was just standing in the center of the crowd, staring at nothing. As we walked through the tent, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The clown that had been staring at nothing turned its head very, very slowly. It looked at me. I whimpered. Erica glanced at me. You okay, Jane? I gave a nod, trying to be brave. I didn't feel okay. You sure? Erica insisted. Yeah. The word came out soft, weak. I had to swallow twice after it. But if Erica noticed how scared I sounded, she didn't say anything. Her gaze had been caught by someone going by on a unicycle, and she was rushing over to see it. I called her name. She was gone. Suddenly, I was alone in the big top, surrounded by clowns. It felt as though the crowd seemed to thin out, like everyone else was being pulled in other directions. I hurried along, trying to locate where Erica had gone, but she had seemingly vanished. It was just me and the clowns. And something was wrong with the clowns. The clowns seemed to be moving in slow motion, their painted smiles twisted and distorted. And their eyes, something about their eyes was just not right. It was like there was no light in them. Were they wearing contacts? Where were the whites of their eyes? It was like there was nothing but black coal in there. They didn't even reflect the lights that had been strung up around the tent. There was just nothing there. Their eyes hadn't been like that a moment ago, had they? Empty and dark, pitch black, like oil, like something even darker. The clown that had been pushing the balloon cart had stopped moving. He had curled over the handle of the cart, his back pressed out into a gigantic arc. His spine was inhumanly long, and the position made it look as though there were too many bones trapped within the confines of his skin. Somewhere, a balloon popped. The sound was enough to make me squeal, both hands flying up to cover my mouth. A clown started laughing, like my fear was the most entertaining thing that he had ever seen. Another clown was copying me, covering its mouth with both hands. Its fingers were so long. They stretched up and curled almost fully around the back of its head, too. I stopped walking. Looking around, I realized that the tent itself seemed to have grown in size, and the amount of lights seemed to have gotten smaller. There were shadows everywhere, stretching away from the canvas walls of the tent and coating everything. The big top hadn't been anywhere near this massive just a moment ago. Had it been? It felt like I was losing it. Erica? My voice trembled. It seemed to bounce and echo off of the empty space. What was going on? No sign of Erica. But there was the clown that had been standing and staring at nothing. Average height, bright red pants and a blue, yellow, and green patchwork blouse. The shirt was loose. The bright red hair and heavy white face paint made it impossible to tell if the clown was male or female. It was staring at me with those empty black eyes. Its painted smile seemed twisted. The red wasn't just on the clown's mouth and lips. It was on the clown's teeth when it opens its mouth to give me a real smile. There were too many teeth in that smile. I took a step backwards. The clown lunged at me, its hands stretching out impossibly long as it reached for my face. I screamed and tried to run, but my feet seemed glued to the ground. Every muscle in my body had frozen, and even screaming a second time seemed to be an impossibility. I couldn't even throw my arms up to try and protect my face. The joints of my hands, my elbows, and my shoulders had locked up tight. As the clown's fingers brushed against my skin, everything went black. I could hear it laughing. When I woke up, I was sitting in the same tent, but everything was normal. The clowns were performing their tricks, and the audience was laughing. There were no gaping shadows trying to stretch out over the empty canvas. The big top was a normal tent. The clowns had normal eyes. They had normal smiles. None of them were looking at me. But my heart was pounding so hard in my chest, I was certain that it was about to break free. I pulled my knees up to my chest, curling against them. "Jane?" Erica asked, crouching down next to me. "Are you okay?" I nodded, still in shock. "Come on, get up." She helped me to my feet. My whole body was trembling. I pulled in a deep breath, and then another. Erica looked concerned and guilty. "I'm sorry," she said. "I shouldn't have pushed you into coming. Let's just go find some funnel cake or something, okay? And we'll give the big top a break for a while." But as we left the tent, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. The world around me seemed to glitch and shimmer, and I knew that I had just experienced something beyond my understanding.
Subscribe today or beware.